So today is our first day in Bucharest.
Romania never seemed like it was going to be a place that I was going to visit. Like, it was never on my list, but I'm excited to see what the city is all about.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of. It's hard to explain. We've only really driven through in our last video when we arrived, and we really struggled to sort of explain what the feeling was when we came through. So that's sort of what we're going to try and capture today as a bit of our first impressions, and sort of the best way to do that, I think, is by heading towards the old town, which has got a really interesting story behind it, eh?
Yeah.
It's we'll go into that more a little bit later on.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. It's been really strange that we've been looking out our window out of our Airbnb apartment, and for some reason this area, the birds just fly around in these circles all over the place. If you know why they're doing this, I would love to know, because I'm just fascinated by them.
It's
just
kind
like
of a little bit creepy, to be honest. You look out your window and
Yeah.
it's just this like hurricane of birds.
But it's really calming. Like, I find myself just
calm?
watching
I'm
them.
not calm.
Okay, so we're definitely taking that differently. Here's one of the interesting examples that we keep seeing is there's a lot of graffiti everywhere. So the base of this building, all graffiti, and all down the side as well. But it's like a beautiful building. It's 2 or 3 stories, and they've got these, we don't really know what the right word is, but it looks like these spires on top. This one's not painted, but a lot of them have been painted silver, and they look a lot more premium on the top, and then quite sort of bad on the bottom. But this is the sort of general quietness of these local neighborhoods we're staying in, and again, more variety of houses. It's just an absolute mixture everywhere. So I think that's what's throwing us, is we can't really get a feeling for the place.
I don't think we've even made it to the old town yet, but I'm actually getting a sore neck because we keep looking up at all these huge buildings.
Yeah.
We just spotted one, I think it's the Hilton, and like the bottom of it is old, and then it's just like they've built a new bit on top. It looks so weird. Cool, but weird.
It almost looks like a cake.
It does, eh?
3-layered cake. I'll be honest here and say that we don't actually have a specific destination other than very loosely putting Old Town into Google Maps and walking the street, and we haven't got a direct route. We're going in and out. Once we get to a certain point, we just see what looks most interesting on the corner and sort of roughly head in that direction. So yeah, now we're walking down a really, really unique looking sort of strip here with these incredibly old buildings on either side. There's all of this gold. Is that gold or brass? I'm colorblind, tidbit for you guys. All down one side, we can hear noise down the other end, and it seems like lots of people are walking down it. So it's sort of reached the fringes of the old town. You can instantly tell as soon as you see more logos, restaurants, cobblestone streets.
Yeah, you start tripping on the cobblestones.
Yeah, more people. So this whole old town was sort of destroyed and sort of became quite old and ragged, and was definitely in need of, going back maybe, I don't know, 20 years or so, was definitely in need of some repair, and that's sort of the thing that makes it so unique now.
Is that it was actually rebuilt in 2013, so it's actually a really new old town.
Yeah. So
Which is so strange.
That's when the project begun to start the rebuilding, and now restaurants, bars, and everything that you'd expect everywhere else. But it's
a lot of strip joints by the looks of things too.
It's old and new at the same time. We've just stumbled into this, feels like a library, but it's actually a bookstore. And funnily enough, both of us came across this on like TripAdvisor or things to do, and when it's at a bookstore we thought, oh, that's not going to happen. But we just happened to stop outside it when we were looking at the map, and Stacey's like, I remember that name, I think that's quite beautiful inside, and we've just come inside this place. It's absolutely stunning. It's white. Yes, Stacey's pointing up. We're going to go upstairs to the bistro and grab a coffee if it's open. It's just white and quiet, and there's enormous structures, beautiful white columns and everything, and these cool little stairways and spiral staircases. It feels very closed up here. What a view.
Unfortunately, it's closed, but that just means we're going to have to keep exploring to find coffee somewhere else.
Yeah, it's worth coming in here though, eh?
It is,
Quick
yeah.
look. Can't make a day out of it or anything.
No, just wander by.
I was about to jump on camera and say it's nice and relaxed here today because it's Sunday, so it's quite quiet. It's about 11 o'clock, midday-ish, and then we walked down a little bit of a street and got let's just say approached by maybe 5 to 10 people in the space of about 20 seconds. So definitely the hustle is strong here. If it's food time, or if they want you to try and come in for a drink, coffee, anything, and they'll try all sorts of different languages. Fortunately though, when you do say no, they're not overly persistent, so it's nice. It's not rude or anything, but it's just, I think Stacey and I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with areas like this, where it's just so intense and so touristy, and the coffees were, I think, 16 lei at the place that we looked at. Just everything is just incredibly inflated for what you're going to find in a spot like this, so really fun to explore. I can absolutely tell if you're looking for a restaurant or a bar or a cafe and you want some atmosphere, streets like this are definitely the one to come to, because we can tell, one, you're going to have loads of options, and two, if you come later on in the evening, this place would absolutely crank. I think it'd be super loud, the streets would be busy, yelling, screaming, drinking, partying. This is the place for it, for sure. We found a nice quiet cafe back here, which I think we're going to head back to.
We were walking towards a cafe that we like the look of, but then we got distracted by this sign that hypnotized us and brought us in for some beer. But it's so weird here in Europe. Like back home in New Zealand, coffee is way cheaper than beer. But here it seems to be the opposite way around. So we've gone for one of each, one coffee, one beer.
And then the eggs thing as well.
Oh yeah, and then like you can actually get basically a full breakfast for the same price as a coffee. It's so strange
It
for
is
us.
so weird. I have to be honest and say we are not really sure what Romanian food is. So often an old town spot is not the way to go to try and figure that out, because everything, like we've said, can be pricey, and you might be convinced that something's local but you don't necessarily know. But we're in no rush because we're doing a food tour, and that is something that we like to do in every city we can. It's such a good way to find out some history, as well as actually genuinely learn what the real local traditional food is. And one even cooler thing about that is, if you've been watching our channel for quite some time now, since Kuala Lumpur, since Malaysia, which was 8 months ago maybe, at a guess, we made friends with some other travelers who are YouTubers as well, and they're sitting at about 100,000 subs, so they're very successful. They're a year or two ahead of us in terms of their travels and their journey. Eric and Alison from The Endless Adventure, they're coming with us tomorrow to do the food tour. So that's going to be fun to hang out with some other YouTubers that understand our vibe, that are used to cameras being around.
And that love food.
And that they love food. So they are probably more of a heavy food related channel than we are. So definitely go and check them out, because yeah, they've got some great videos and they've traveled to some incredible places as well. What is a brutal Russian pancake? I don't think today's the day we're going to try. Maybe another day. We've come out the bottom now of the old town. We're walking along a little bit of a river here. Not really sure what this building is, but It's absolutely huge, goes right the way down there, and we're just sort of aimlessly walking and just discovering more as we go. What are you doing?
What? I caught a fairy. What are these things? I'm just deciding. Oh god.
Oh,
Just deciding on my wish. Don't ask me what it is after I do this. There's so much pressure. Okay.
get it right. Get the answer right. Oh wow, beautiful.
Oh, it's coming back. Oh, it's coming back. Oh, I'll get a second wish.
Is that how it works?
Definitely. Okay. Okay. Okay, walk away. Otherwise, I'm gonna be here all day.
What's your initial reviews of Bucharest then?
We were talking about it, and we were saying that it's maybe a little bit rough around the edges, but it does have a kind of charm to it. Was that my fairy?
No, that's a fly, I think.
I think we need a bit more time to kind of like process, see some different areas, because we did go into like the tourist heavy area.
That's true.
Yeah. TBC.
TBC. So tomorrow is when the next video is when we're doing the food tour, and that'll give us a bit more history, a bit more of a finger on the pulse, because there is a lot of beauty here, but I just don't feel like I don't really feel like we've got into it yet because we've just been so touristy today.
Yeah, you can't just make your mind up about a city from visiting one area.
No, you can't. But anyway, we've really enjoyed it, and there's so much more to see. We've got lots of other things that we haven't mentioned yet that are coming up on the channel anyway. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the comments.
Bye.
Bye.